Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I wanted to touch on a subject that I'm a little obsessed with. I do a lot of research in the last year. I have kind of put a hold on Moxie Entrepreneur, which was a business and is a business I still have, but I'm working with coaching clients only right now, or private one-on-one coaching clients privately with Moxie Entrepreneur. But what my obsession has been over the last year has been how to reverse the aging process, because I experienced some things, and while experiencing them, implementing them, and then experiencing them and losing over 40 pounds, I noticed things that I want to share, which led me to do more and more research. And if anybody here, for those of you that know me, you know I absolutely become obsessed with research. Okay. So I'm going to share some things that not only, it's not just research and regurgitated information, this is actually what I myself implemented over the last year and experienced, okay? So I've taken some notes. I won't go on and on because I've only got, 50% of my battery, but I'm going to tell you the really, really important things here and that can get you on the path to a much better life. Here's what I mean when I say that. Okay, so I posted something earlier about my busy life. Okay, so I have 3 teenagers. I run a business from home. I watch my kids 100% of the time, not 100% of the time because they're teenagers, but you know what I mean. They are with me or live in my home. So with that being said, I am 100% responsible for them at this moment. They're going through a lot right now in choosing colleges, graduating, and all kinds of things. And I have a business that I'm running, a new business that I'm creating because I'm becoming more and more interested in it, okay? How to reverse the aging process, for instance, and weight loss. And I just have a lot going on. But as I was building my business, Moxie Entrepreneur, I hit a few roadblocks with my health. And they felt massive, but the doctors couldn't tell me what was going on. So I was doing research and going to all these different doctors and not coming up with anything until I discovered what I'm going to share today. But let me just quickly share some of the symptoms that I was experiencing in case it helps you or in case you resonate with it. My hair was falling out. I felt like I was going bald. I literally had some bald patches. Looked like I was about 8 years older than I was. And I have reversed that. I swear I have, and I am excited to share with you how I did that. I lost 40 pounds. Okay, so I had gained I gained 50 pounds. Okay, so I could lose another 10 if I wanted to, but I'm okay with the weight that I am for the most part right now. But what I was feeling was complete exhaustion. So I would hear all about adrenal fatigue, and I know that I overwork. I do understand that I'm a workaholic. But here's the thing. This day and age, how can a mother not be a workaholic? Life is more expensive. We want to follow our dreams. We also want our kids to follow their dreams, and we want all of these things. And I'm the type that I look forward and I think to myself, what am I going to regret when I'm 102 years old? What am I going to regret not doing? And so I want it all. That's just kind of my personality. I want it all. And so what I was experiencing was that I was not finding a good balance, and my body was basically breaking down. So I discovered in my search to not only lose weight, but to feel better, I discovered how to reverse aging truly, truly works, and that is intermittent fasting. It's not just that, but it's also, and so I'll share with you some tips on intermittent fasting and fasting, and then I'm going to share with you some tips on what to eat, because I don't know if you're like this, but I am definitely like this. If I have to understand something before I'll do something consistently. Right? And obviously, I need to see results so that I will be consistent. So not only did I see fast results and started feeling better immediately, but that kept me going, but I also started to understand it more, and it kept me in the groove so that I didn't fall off track. So I am wearing a size 4 now, and I was not last year. I was wearing a size 8, okay? So, and I am very small boned, and so I know what weight I wanna be at to feel confident, but also to feel good in terms of energy, okay? So what you have to do is understand intermittent fasting and start to implement it. And also, and I'll share you some tips here with how to start implementing it, but also you've got to keep your body confused, your metabolism confused. So if you keep your metabolism confused, which is what I teach in my Skinny Fast and Fit, if you keep it confused, yes, you can eat a lot of food, but if you keep it confused and balance while also balancing your macronutrients, your body will lose weight very fast and in a healthy way. Okay, so one thing that I was experiencing, a lot of things I was experiencing, a lot of symptoms, the hair loss, the weight gain, the feeling tired, the looking 5 to 8 years older than I was, all of that was going on because I wasn't getting the right macronutrients, and which upset my hormones. Okay, so I am an aging woman. We're all aging. I hate that term actually, but we're all aging and we go through stages in life, but it doesn't mean that just because somebody's aging that they should feel like crap or look like crap. Okay, so what I started doing was implementing a lot of different ways of eating, okay? And I don't know if anyone is watching this that remembers, but I did a 7-day fast last year, I think it was last January. And that taught me so much. First of all, it taught me that basically that I could do it. And not only could I do it, and I don't tell people to do 7-day fast, but I learned through that 7-day fast so much about myself and about what was happening, but it changed my skin. It changed the way I felt. It taught me that hunger goes away. And then the more I learned, but by the way, a lot of the things that I teach and the things that I implement was actually, it's been researched over and over and over and over. Like the research is phenomenal by universities, doctors of all kinds, both holistic and MDs. And then in 2016, a Nobel Prize winner, I have to look at his name here, Yoshinori Ohsumi, he's Japanese. In 2016, he won a Nobel Prize in medicine for fasting, which is, by the way, mentioned in the Bible over 77 times. So here's the thing. We have been duped, I believe, over and over through marketing and misinformation from doctors that I'm not going to say they purposely did it, but I don't think that they, many MDs they don't know much about nutrition. So what I'm sharing with you about intermittent fasting and fasting is actually very healthy, and I swear it took 8 years off my face because I have only had Botox one time, and if any of you gals have had Botox, you know that, and that was last year, before I did the fasting, it wears off within 6 months. I have not had it since, and I'm telling you, I don't feel like that I need it, and I have friends and girlfriends that have it and have been having it since they were 25. So why is it that people tell me I look 10 years younger than I am? Not everybody tells me that. I'm telling you, they didn't start telling me that and saying those things until I started intermittent fasting. So something has changed in my skin, and with doing the research, I'm learning more and more as to why and how it happens. It detoxifies your body, it cleans out the cells, it brings more moisture to your skin naturally. So I don't put anything on my skin to moisturize my skin anymore because it's not dry, which is amazing. I'm not saying that using those products are bad. I actually signed up for O'Dan & Fields recently, and I used the Lash Boost. So I'm not against those. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that health comes from the inside out, and what is showing up on your skin is telling you something about what's going on inside, okay? That's all I'm saying. So if you could start just a 12-hour fast, you would increase what's called autophagy. So a 12-hour fast, just think about it, you're sleeping 8 hours of the 12. You're going to accelerate, or you're going to activate, which is a better term, activate autophagy. Autophagy is exactly what we're going for, that helps reduce so much diseases. In terms of diseases, it helps reduce your odds of getting cancer. It helps mental brain focus. Okay, so if you are aging and feeling like you are forgetting, becoming more and more forgetful, and feeling overwhelmed with too many things to do, I'm telling you, put yourself into a state of autophagy, okay, and mix up your macros like I teach in Skinny Fast and Fit, which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you would want to join my 8-week program, message me, and then, because this is some of the stuff that I teach and I go deep. So that, because I believe when somebody understands why they're doing something, they'll continue. And what will keep you more consistent and staying in the lifestyle of it will be seeing fast results, right? So one of the things that happens as we age is our hormones become imbalanced, okay? And so we have to start doing things a little bit differently, okay? Caring more, becoming more aware of the foods that are going into our mouth, because it literally will upset our hormones and make us age faster. Perfect example, progesterone, for instance. A lot of people are walking around, women, I'm just talking about women right now. A lot of women have not enough progesterone, okay? And it is increasing estrogen and causing a lot of problems. It's linked to breast cancer, for instance, a lot of different cancers. It's not helping you look good. It's not helping you feel good. It's upsetting your sleep. Sleep, by the way, helps with autophagy. So if you get your macros straight, you will naturally increase your progesterone. So getting your foods balanced balances your hormones, okay? And a lot of these symptoms that I was having last year went away completely, became more mental. And by the way, I'm on my second, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, I'm on my second day of fasting. I'm gonna do a 3-day fast. This is not something that people in my program that I tell them to do. They can do it if they want, and I'll help them. But the program that I put together was about carb cycling. It's especially for women, but it's carb cycling so that you can fuse the metabolism. If you keep your metabolic functions confused or guessing, okay? I don't know if you've heard of muscle confusion, it's very similar. But if you do intermittent fasting and then balance with carb cycling, you will not only lose weight very, very fast, so over 3 pounds a week is what I lost 7 pounds in the first week that I did it. And that was what I needed. Like, that's what I need. And it was so doable because I wasn't hungry. And so I became fascinated with this because I come from health and fitness world years ago, worked for a weight loss company so I worked one-on-one and counseled in the weight loss field for over 2 years, and I did their marketing. So one thing that I noticed while working with them is that I would become frustrated with the dietitians that I worked with what I felt like was their lack of knowledge. Okay, so I'm not saying dietitians don't have the knowledge, but I felt like they were holding something from me, okay? Because I was always wanting to give my clients as much information as possible. So I would do some of my reading back then and take it to my clients as well. So I'm still doing that, but the latest research, like I just shared with you in 2016, this Japanese scientist that worked on this method, fasting, that, by the way, is centuries and centuries years old, he wins a Nobel Prize for the very thing that the Bible was talking about. Okay, so I'm not going into Bible thumping world. I'm just saying this has been around for years, and all religions talk about fasting. But for some reason, especially in the Western world here, we've been taught through marketing, mostly marketing, that fasting is somehow harmful to our health or starvation, and it is not. Okay, so an easy way to start to implement is doing the intermittent fasting. Okay, so not everybody wants to do a 3-day fast like me. I do it because I see these results and I feel amazing. I feel like I have a lot of energy, and so it works for me. One of the things that's really important is to start implementing a little bit at a time some of these theories and some of these practices to find out how it makes you feel. Okay, so when I did the 7-day fast last year, I felt so amazing, and I took notes on everything, and then I started researching more and realizing why I felt good, and that led me to be more consistent with it. Okay, so not everybody wants to do even a 24-hour fast might be scary to people. And if you're pregnant or nursing, or if you have diabetes, then it's not something that you should do, although there's a lot of research that it can actually reverse diabetes, okay, type 1. Or did I say that right? I'm sorry, type 2, gotta say that right. So it helps in so many ways, and what fasting does is it activates autophagy. So I'm gonna spell that for you, AUTOPHAGY, autophagy. So anytime you can activate autophagy, there are several ways to do it, but anytime you can activate autophagy, you are reversing the age, or you're reversing your age in terms of looks and the way you feel. You're helping to balance your hormones. You're helping to reduce your risk of any kind of brain problems. You're reducing depression, anxiety, all of that. And so I found it to be amazing. I've had amazing results, and so now I'm teaching it in my program. So the first time I implemented carb cycling, balancing my macros using an app, and then intermittent fasting, I lost 14 pounds in the first month. So I know it works. I was not hungry. During fasting, like fasting for a day, yes, I was. And so what I learned by fasting for 24 hours is how to overcome the hunger hormones, the ghrelin. And once I understood that, it was so easy, and I felt amazing. It gave me energy. So I'm sharing this with you because, well, for a lot of reasons, but the other day I had this gal, I didn't even know who she was. She was arguing with me, and she said that I was nothing but a Botox bimbo. I've only had Botox one time. That was January of last year, 2018. By the way, Botox wears off. Botox wears off in what? I think 4 months, 6 months. And then, so it wears off and then your skin goes back, okay. I saw better results. I really saw a lot of different results, but I saw better results. So I'm not against Botox at all, but I saw better results with intermittent fasting and getting the right macros in and balancing my diet. I truly did. Okay, so I'm not against Botox, and I do see myself doing it in the future, but as of right now, I'm not one of those people that goes in for Botox. I have friends that do, and I don't judge them. They're getting the results. But what I am more interested in is going deeper with what helps us look younger longer, what helps us avoid cancer and Parkinson's disease and dementia, all of the brain diseases and a lot of the cancers overall. I'm looking to feel better and look better longer. So I'm in it for the long haul. That's why I'm sharing this information. And then it's also a lifestyle of eating a certain way. And when you get the results from eating a certain way, you understand it and realize you can do it without being hungry, and you feel better, you're more likely to do it longer, okay? And live longer, right? Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up. Send me a message if you're interested in Skinny Fast and Fit. You do not have to fast in the program if you don't want to. But the intermittent fasting part of it, which is what I teach, which is just 12 to 16 hours, you're sleeping through most of that, what I teach, they love. The people love, they get results right away, of course, and that gives them that consistency and something to build upon in terms of knowledge. Joey, it doesn't matter. Botox or no Botox, you still look good. Thank you. Thank you, Joey. Okay, so keeping the body confused, keeping your metabolism confused really helps, okay? Helps reverse aging, helps clean the cells, helps balance your hormones. which, by the way, when you have more progesterone, okay, so when you balance your hormones naturally, and progesterone will actually help bring moisture. See, okay, there's so much I want to get into. Okay, fluid retention, for instance, is fluid trapped in the cells. So a lot of women that have low progesterone, and that's a lot of women out there, low progesterone, an imbalanced diet, imbalanced hormones, the fluid is trapped in the cell and can't come up to the skin. So you could literally take 5 or 8 years off your face, okay, by starting to use intermittent fasting and autophagy, activating autophagy, and increasing your progesterone so that it comes up to the fluid comes up to the surface and not trapped in the cell. That's just a little bit of what I teach. And so I hope that if you have more questions, message me. But I hope this helped, because I'm excited about the information. I'm excited about how it actually works in my life. And by the way, inflammation. Inflammation was something that I was struggling with big time. Okay, so I was achy, very achy, and inflammation causes achiness and basically leads to almost all diseases that that's being talked about right now. And I'm talking about cancer and inflammation in the brain, all of it. Inflammation in the body is your pathway to a fast death or cancer. I'm telling you, it is, especially with everything that I'm reading, what I've experienced. I used to have inflammation in my joints so bad. My recovery after a workout was so horrible that I didn't want to work out again. Okay, so when I reduced inflammation by the intermittent fasting, number one, the intermittent fasting did it, and then starting to understand what foods to incorporate, and then confusing my metabolism. Your metabolic system needs to be a little bit confused, or keep it guessing, because when you think about it, if you think about where we came from, hunters and gatherers didn't eat all day long. They actually went for periods without eating. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. So balance your macros. When you balance your macros, you balance your hormones. You will reverse aging with that process that I just shared. I go much deeper in this process in my Skinny Fast and Fit program. And so message me if you're interested in starting. Okay, bye-bye.